How does it really feel to live in a chateau? What have we achieved in just 1 year? And what exciting plans lie ahead? Today we're diving into it all, past, present and future. Let's take you behind the scenes of our chateau life. Once upon a time, nestled in the heart of the French countryside, stands the majestic Chateau de Londony. We, an Australian-German couple, are brave enough to take on the challenge and breathe new life into the chateau. Every fairy tale is born from dreams, passion and desire. The chateau once silent begins to sing again, filled with warmth and laughter and a good team around us. Welcome to Chateau de Londony.
Happy New Year, everybody. 2025 is already here. It's hard to believe.
Frohes neues Jahr!
So we're going to have a look back at where we started in February of 2024, all the way through until Christmas. When we moved in, of course, we looked around and realised the property was incredibly beautiful, but we had no idea what we were doing and where we were going to start. Although we'd had a mud map and discussed it many times sitting on the farm back in Australia, when we arrived, that's when you
realize what you bought. Finding the wallpaper on the wall that is literally made out of leather and details that you're right in front of it now.
So obviously buying a property like this is just insane. So if you're thinking of doing it, call us and we'll have a chat to you about it. It also comes with the obligation to take care of a property like this. Of course, when we walked around the property, the rooms, the ceilings, the roofs, everything about it, even the gardens, were just everything we imagined. But we had no idea where to start.
So we really had to get our heads around, and then getting a family from Berlin over to France, and they gave us a hand. It was so good to have my dad, my mom, my auntie, my uncle, everyone here start repairing some windows, opening doors and making the home much more comfortable for us.
So in life there's luck and there's planning, and we threw caution to the wind when we came here, because to be able to plan architects or builders was just unknown territory for us. So just by pure chance, we had an introduction to Robin. He's been over here 23 years and knows everybody that we would need, and we're very fortunate enough to meet Robin.
Yes, the team that we met through Robin helped us so much along the way, and after all we all became friends, and also meant we supported each other privately, and when Harry had a marathon we went there, and we just spent more time together than just working together.
In their passion, in all the work that they're doing, it's just not a run-of-the-mill property, and to bring areas that have been unused for decades back to life was rewarding and exciting and challenging.
One of the highlights in 2024 was restoring the hunting room. Before we moved in, I already saw it when we had a visit here, and there was nothing in it. And shortly after we met Robin, we started to tile this room, to give it a face and to put some wallpaper up, and in the end the result was clearly as it was on my mood board that I prepared already when we still lived back in Australia. So this room was really one of my favorite projects at the start. And then we had also the little staircase going up to our private rooms. There was no wallpaper. So I decided to give it a little bit of a bling bling. My auntie came to help here in April as well.
One of the other areas that were of great importance, of course, was the butler's apartment, which forms part of the old servants' quarters. Denise had her plans for that, and we've used bits and pieces from around the property in there, and it's probably one of my favourite rooms too, because it's small but incredibly cosy and has real atmosphere and of course history to it. So we were working really hard for a deadline, which was middle of August or late August, and that was for the official opening of the day spa with the Royal Suite and the spa and the cave and everything. So we were under enormous pressure, and we had bitten off more than we could chew. And you know, as you would have seen in the video, if you've watched it, and if you haven't, you should. The day of reckoning was down to the last minute when the weather was changing and caterers and everything else. We literally made up the day suite in the last 2 hours, but everything was right on the day and looked amazing.
Yeah, this was definitely my highlight of 2024.
Best things is to see the property now being used and guests coming to stay.
And I don't know if you watched an episode where Harry got married to Justine. This wasn't a real wedding, but this happened in September in 2024 when we organized a big photo shooting around Chateau de Londony, so that future wedding couples can see how their possible wedding could look like here at the Chateau.
And one of the things, you know, we've said about this property is the more people visit it, like you'll see in the Christmas market, you see everyone's faces looking at the property and how amazed they are. It makes us feel proud as well that so many people get to see it. And I think you've had 15 or so inquiries for wedding, to use it as a wedding venue, and we're every day getting the place more and more ready. So we can't wait for it to be used for that, and I'm sure we'll get a lot of pleasure out of seeing people getting married here.
And then in November we had the filming for Channel 4, where we are hopefully allowed to talk about it more this year.
We had our big Christmas gathering here at the Chateau. That was another beautiful moment.
We had this beautiful Christmas market that was for everyone, for locals, for friends and our family, and everyone enjoyed the atmosphere around Christmas so much.
Unbelievable. Living in a chateau is a blessing and a curse all in one. So. It is incredible because you get to enjoy the beauty of the property. It's a curse because you have to look after the entire property. So we love it. It was our choice, so we're not complaining about it. We're custodians of the property. We're doing our best to look after it.
Sometimes you walk around the Chateau and you find details that you haven't even seen before. This is still something that we enjoy doing. We explore little corners and pieces. We go through old photo books. We see painted ceilings, and every now and then you notice different surprises.
And of course, the problem is it's a bit like when you get on your phone, you go to do something and then you end up going down a rabbit hole. The same is true here. I'll be walking from one side of the building to another side of the building to do something, but on the way I noticed that, so I stopped to do that. but then I need to get a tool to do that. But then on the way to somewhere else to get the tools, I noticed something else. So at the end of the day, you turn around and you often have not done what you set out to do, but you've done other stuff. First moved in, of course, there was limited electricity through the building, so keeping it warm in the depths of winter was almost impossible. So the priority was to get an apartment or a section of the building, which we always intended to do, which is the old servants' quarters, ready as soon as possible so that we could move in.
The biggest challenge 2024 was the spa cave. It was almost not happening because convincing everyone to build a pool in the wine cellar, that was definitely not an easy task, but with everyone's help, the outcome was brilliant.
This is the heart of the business. This is what I want you to enjoy when you come and stay at our chateau.
One of the best things is that the people have been coming to stay absolutely love it. So it's rewarding to know that we built it and we like it, but it's even better that they like to come and stay. Because the one thing we need to run a property like this is revenue. So having the business start to take off has been great.
One of the other challenges was definitely the Royal Spa Suite. When we saw the room for the very first time, it had that blue canvas, it had the old fabric on the wall, which in the video doesn't appear to be too bad, but it actually was ripped apart in different corners, and it was time for us to take the fabric down and to recreate a new suite. And when I sat down, I had the vision and I realized our carpenter, John Luke, can help us, and little by little with Robin and Harry and everyone, we created that new Royal Spa Suite, and it looked like it was always there. We have timber moldings on the wall now, we have insulated plasterboards, we have new windows, the ceiling in the bathroom, there was no ceiling before. What we created there, it's one of the favorite projects that we had.
Talking about the practicality of some of what we're doing, which, you know, often you don't see. So Denise mentioned before that the plasterboard is insulated. The difference in an insulated room to an uninsulated room at this time of the year is half the temperature. So an insulated room without any heating will sit at about 10 degrees. An uninsulated room will sit at 5 degrees, and you get condensation, mold on the walls, etc. So doing this is really good, important for the long-term viability of the property. And you don't see it, but it makes an enormous difference. The next project, well, for 2025, we've got plenty to do. Once again, it's like, where do we start? Where do we start? We're going to move into the tower room, which is the room we stayed in when we first came over. It's a beautiful room, as the name would suggest. It's in the tower, so it's round. has an entrance hallway and a very outdated bathroom. We need to insulate that room properly, and then from there, and do the bathrooms, and then from there we'll work down the hallway to insulate the walls in there and also replace the windows. Condensation is enormous, it builds up throughout the building. By doing that, then it's going to be easy to keep those rooms warm. And also we need to put a hall runner down there, so when you walk back from the day spa, it just feels warm, cozy and luxurious, like a boutique hotel.
One of the other projects for 2025 is definitely trying to get the chapel renovation started. You saw in the previous video that in our old 70s kitchen over there, that used to be a chapel, that has got the lowered ceiling, and we put a hole in, and you can see underneath that there is something very grand under that we want to expose again. And this is a chapel ceiling, and then this will be followed by all the renovation that needs to be done. The kitchen needs to go, and we want to see the little chapel coming back again for future weddings as well.
Because in the outbuildings is all of the furniture that was taken out of the chapel. Thank goodness it's all still here. So that's a massive project too. And the other one that we're really keen to do is in the other tower at the bottom is the old library. We'd love to have that area through there renovated by Christmas. And I reckon if we achieve all that in the next 12 months, I don't think the chapel will be finished, but it'll certainly be started. But if we can achieve that in the next 12 months, then it's another big step forward for the property.
One of the favorite things that I'm looking forward to is definitely the chapel. But as Brad said, it will take some time. We know we can find some artists if we wanted to. There are some old paintings over the little colorful windows, and we can see that there was definitely some drawings on the ceiling as well. You can see when you look through the hole, there are some little stars in the ceiling.
Is it?
Yeah.
So one of the things we're doing to help finance this is obviously we've used a lot of our own money, but also the money from YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed, do that. It does help us. We don't make a lot of money out of it, but every little bit helps. And we want to get as much of this property done as we can.
Where's my one chicken?
It's definitely a bottle.
I reckon it's...
Oh, it's a... Look at this. Oh, wow. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I can't get mine open. Mine's full up with money. It's full up with money. My gold. My gold. Merry Christmas, everybody. Cheers. Cheers. I've got a box of comments.
Harry's drinking out of these.
He's talking to the share market. Sell, sell, sell.
Anyway, I'm on phone. I'm being filmed at the moment, and you know. So yes. Anyway, sell.
If you've got a chateau,
Sell.
Sell.
Sell the chateau.